So pit, oh yeah, Yinzer crazy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special crossover episode of the Chris Wormley Show and Yinzeritas. This week, we're brought to you by none other than the Steel City Wheelhouse. You can find all of your auto customization needs at their website, steelcitywheelhouse.com. Today, we are so excited to talk about the epic win, not yesterday, Monday, Sunday. I have no idea what day it is. It's fine. But Chris, just to start us off with something simple, let's kind of recap and reassess what all we dealt with in the game. Of course, Sunday versus the Seahawks, you had a monumental game. The defense as a whole did. Notably, you had a season high 5 tackles and actually got to assist TJ on some of those really notable plays. Tell us a little bit about how that felt.
Yeah, I mean, it was the quintessential perfect Sunday night game, right? There was drama. There was a big lead that we lost the lead. We obviously we won at the end, but it was overtime. A lot of ups and downs. But yeah, it was great to be able to contribute in a big way. Not only myself, but like you said, TJ, Cam is Cam, and we all know the player he is. That he continues to step up game after game. And everyone else in the defense, we had a really solid game, minus those 2 drives to start the second half. But a win is a win, and it was really big and a really huge win for us to go into the bye week 500.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know, speaking of Chris and TJ and everything that they were doing, what are your thoughts on all that early buzz about Defensive Player of the Year potentially going in TJ's direction?
I mean, I think he should have won it last year. And that's not just me being, his teammate, but I think the numbers spoke for itself last year. Obviously, Aaron Donald's a phenomenal player, Hall of Famer. But I think TJ really was the best defensive player last year. And he's just building his case week in and week out this year, and this season for that Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's well on his way to getting that. And I'm just super excited to be a part of it and to help him along his journey to be the best. And it's been a fun season so far.
Absolutely. Yeah. This 2-game hot streak that you guys have been pushing through has been so impressive. Of course, we had that crazy overtime experience this time around. I would be remiss if I didn't mention what led into overtime. So could you maybe give us a little insight on what went through your head whenever the clock looked like it expired, but then, the tables kind of turned?
Yeah, it definitely looked like the clock had expired, and then they went and replayed the play that I think it was DK that caught the ball, fumbled it. They wanted to make sure it was a catch or he wasn't out of bounds, but it was, I think, pretty clear in real time what the situation was. But it's the drama of the NFL. Like I said, it was the perfect Sunday night game for the fans to watch. I know my wife was pretty pumped in the stands, and everyone else at Heinz Field Sunday night. But we're just really, really happy to get the win. No matter the score, no matter how we did it, we found a way to win.
Oh, absolutely. And it was such a good game. I know Jane and I were discussing earlier. She was there at the game as well. Sadly, I just lost my voice at home, but she was having a great time watching everything that happened. Of course, we do have to talk about kind of a negative side effect of that. A frightening moment happened, of course, when Daryl Taylor went down, and we had a moment that I think many Steelers fans could relate to in terms of what happened with Shazier in the past. Yeah. Could you maybe tell us a little bit about what goes through your mind as a player on the sideline when something like that's happening?
Yeah, you always have to take a pause and think of the player itself, the man behind the helmet. It's a scary situation no matter what the injury is. But when it's something like that where he's on the ground for a long time, the stretcher comes out, it's a little more serious than just your normal bang-ups of an NFL game. But it looks like he's going to be okay. It looks like he's healthy. It even says that he might be able to play on Sunday, which I think is an amazing sign, right? That somebody that can have that big of a scare can come back and potentially play on Sunday. I think that's a really good sign, and obviously you never want somebody to be injured, but especially that type of severity that it was looking like Sunday night. I know I'm happy that he's going to be okay.
Absolutely. I think all of Steelers Nation, was up there alongside you guys praying for him and hoping for the best. And it's great to hear that he's going to be all right. One more fun thing to kind of talk about in this week's game was that concept of some trick plays. We had some great early momentum and everything. And one of the most pleasant surprises for me this season was seeing Ebron with that rushing touchdown. What did it feel like to kind of watch him do that? And how do you feel about potentially carrying out some more of those trick plays in the future?
Yeah, I think getting players in a position to score, no matter what the play is fun to watch. It's fun to watch in practice, and then it's fun to see that come to life in a game. And I know Ebron was excited to get a touchdown. Obviously, he's a skill position, so he likes to score. He likes to contribute to the team. But no matter the situation, no matter what the trick play is, no matter what the play is, it's always good to score points, and that was a big one for us when Ebron scored, and it's always fun to watch from the sidelines.
Yeah, I think speaking of like the whole atmosphere and the sidelines, it was such a fun game. Like I had a blast. Obviously, the negative wasn't that great. We did have some special guests at the game. Did you have a chance to talk to Troy Polamalu or anyone else, or did you not get to cross paths? Because I know they were there, obviously, at the game.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to speak, but obviously those guys are legends. They're Hall of Famers, and anytime you get to celebrate players like that at Heinz Field is a special moment. And I think that's what every NFL player dreams of is getting that gold jacket, and then like some of them did Sunday night, they got their Hall of Fame ring. So that's a special moment, and I know the fans loved it. I know we loved it, and to be able to see guys like that is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's definitely awesome. And it's fun just to take a step back and have them be recognized off of the field a few years later. I think that's super special too, because, you get all the hype up in your career, you get the press, you get the PR, which is awesome, but it's nice to look retrospectively on your career and get that acknowledgement. So I love that for them. And like you said, the fans loved it. I mean, Sunday night was so much fun. I went to bed far too late. I'm sure everyone did, but it was such a great atmosphere. And, I would say that game the energy was the best of the season, in my opinion. I mean, sitting in the stands, everyone was waving their terrible towel. Everyone was hype. It was so fun. So I'm really hoping we get a few more night games in the near future, because that was just a blast. There's nothing like playing under the lights.
Yeah, I think night games are always obviously fun for the players and the fans. And like you said, the Heinz Field fans and the Steeler Nation were crazy. Like you said, the terrible towels. Renegade was playing at the end, which was hype.
Yeah. So
it was an amazing atmosphere, and like you said, probably the best atmosphere this season. And obviously last year we didn't have a whole lot of fans. It was my first time, I think, where I'm like, okay, this is how Heinz Field is supposed to be for a game, and it just got me really excited, especially towards the end of the game when we needed it the most.
Yeah, no, I mean, when it was the end of the game, I was sitting there and I was like, oh, I can feel my heart racing and I'm not even playing. So I could only imagine how they feel, because it was amazing. I mean, so going off of that, great win. Now we're at a bye week. What is this week looking like for you? Are you relaxing? Are you prepping? Are you traveling? What's this next week look like for you?
I mean, I think it's all the above. We had a practice today and we got some good work in. Going to travel tomorrow back home. Going to go see a Michigan game on Saturday. See some friends and family over the weekend. But also look at the Browns tape. I know they play Thursday night, so I'm going to be tuned into that, see how their offense looks, especially. And excited to dive into that tape and dive into that game plan, especially Monday when we come back, because they're an AFC North, division opponent. They're a 3-3 team like we are right now, so a lot's gonna be riding on that game. And I think if we can get the win next Sunday, next Sunday, we'll have a leg up on them going into more division play and deep into the season. That's going to set us up nicely for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
sure,
I think you said it perfectly. I mean, if you guys win this, not only would you guys pass Cleveland and improve your record, but I mean, this is your first time facing them since that infamous, I guess, wild card game last year. So is this kind of a revenge game for you guys, or are you looking at this more as a chance to recuperate, reevaluate, and take it bit by bit like a normal game?
I think each game we're going to reevaluate, the tape, what we did right, what we did wrong, what we can build off of. But yeah, the sour taste I think is still in all of our mouths when it comes to the Browns and the way we ended the season last year. So we're definitely going to want to come out with a win, obviously, but also make it a game where I think, like I said, it sets us up nicely. But at the same time, hold on, I got an iPad. You turned it off. All right, we got to show my daughter that's interrupting.
I think you should.
Hey.
I got to turn on some Cocoa Melon for her real quick. So stand by.
Hey, dad duties come first. They always come first.
You good?
That's amazing. Gotta love the Cocoa Melon. She's so
And now
cute.
she's all set.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi.
Well, with that said, I guess another thing to talk about would be the fact that the Browns have kind of been plagued by injuries of their own. And of course, we're no stranger to that this season. But I know you in particular deal a lot with, obviously rushing defense and the running backs. We saw it with Alex Collins this week. And then I think following the bye, we're going to be in an interesting situation considering that Kareem Hunt was just listed as being out for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that's the strength of their offense is those two running backs. And I think, especially this week, Hunt's already out. And if Chubb's out this week too, I think that takes away a lot of what they can do offensively, especially with Baker. When he drops back or he does the play action pass, that feeds off of the run. So it's going to be interesting to watch this game Thursday, how they prepare for that if they're both out, and also, what we do leading up to our game in 2 weeks with them, if those two guys are out, especially when we know Kareem's going to be out already. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game plan for us, but we're going to be able to have a great game plan with whatever Coach Butts and Mike T wants for us to do, and we're excited for the challenge.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And that also brings you back to dad duty. I know a holiday that's coming up next week, Halloween plans. Are y'all doing trick-or-treating or staying at home?
Yeah, so we play the Browns on that Sunday, so hopefully we can get back in time where I can either pass out some candy or walk around the neighborhood with her for a little bit. But she's going to be a lion, and
love it.
she loves lions, but she has this little head thing, little headdress hat type thing. That's the mane, and she's terrified of it right now. So we're slowly working her into it, and hopefully in a week and a half she's good to go. But if not, she'll have a bunch of candy to eat, and she'll be excited either way. So this will be her first time to be able to walk around and get some candy. So I'm excited for her to experience that. But hopefully
that's so fun.
Hopefully she can get the full experience with her costume. But
yeah, that's exciting. Are you dressing up at all this year?
I'm not. Someone said I should be a zookeeper though, which I thought was an interesting idea.
Ooh,
I like that. That's fun.
I might be able to throw it together real quick. But it just depends on when I get back on Sunday. But yeah, well, I'm excited for her to experience the whole getting the candy and then eating the candy.
And then you get to eat the candy. You can't forget about that part.
We're gonna be able to. We're gonna monitor her candy, and so that'll be fun.
Make sure it all looks good, right? You just got to taste it out for her. Make sure it looks good.
Make sure it's safe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think I can speak for everyone when I say we'd love to see you as a zookeeper. So keep us on tap. Keep us posted with that. With that said, I guess the last thing for us to do is some worm association. I know that Mike and Jordan have done it with you in the past, and I know that Jane and I both love it. So to get us started, what are your thoughts on Wyatt Teller?
I think last year he was either all pro or a pro bowler. And before then, people didn't really know too much about him, which is exciting as a player. You have a guy that comes out of kind of really nowhere and plays his butt off. And now is a highly respected player. So it's going to be a fun challenge to go up against him. It's going to be a fun game in general, especially if they have Chubb back to kind of stop that run. And that's going to be our biggest thing. But yeah, Teller's a good player, and I'm excited for the challenge.
Yeah, it'll definitely be fun to see you match up against him.
Yeah.
With that in mind, what about Denzel Ward?
Well, I think he went to Ohio State, so I'm not too fond of him. I think this is his third or fourth year, and I think he's really coming on as a solid cornerback, and has made a lot of plays already this year. And I'm excited to, for our offense to game plan against him. Obviously, I don't have much. She's excited over her bunny coloring. Good job, yeah. But he's a solid player, and I know they're going to have a game plan for him. But it's always go blue. So hey.
I don't blame her. I think that her drawing is probably much more interesting than the Browns, but that might just be me. Well, I guess last one, we wouldn't be able to do this without asking you about Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. I think when he's healthy, he's a really good quarterback. Obviously, he's been struggling a little bit just with some injuries, but he's a tough guy, as you've seen. He comes back from injuries time after time, especially these last couple games. And it's exciting for a player like me that can respect a guy that gets up, gets hit, gets knocked down, and gets back up, and is still has that fire, still has that competitive edge to go out there and win games. And it's always fun to go up against Baker. This will be my close to maybe 8th or 9th time going up against him now. So it's always fun playing him against him, and I think he's a really, really competitive player and loves football.
Yeah, great. Well, we cannot wait to see you playing in that game. Of course, we hope you enjoy your time off and everything, but thanks for letting us join you for this special episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Do you want to say bye-bye?
Yeah,
You can say bye-bye too.
She's shy now.
Bye-bye.
Yinzer crazy. This is it right here. Yinzer crazy. So pit, oh yeah. Yinzer crazy. This is it right here. Yinzer crazy. I know Yinzer crazy, but so am I. Number one sports site in the burg. Let me show you why. The latest stories in unbeatable podcast with your favorite athletes. You know you can't pause that. Super Bowl, World Series, Stanley Cup champs. Rising stars, Berg personalities for the fans. We love our city, always Pittsburgh proud. When you're at your job or while you got your cell phones out. Breaking down the touchdown, goals and home runs. Predictions and interview, who does it like us? No one. Cheering on the Berg squads, no pom-pom. Don't know by now it's his